guys. Welcome to Too Personal, another episode. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Joy Taylor. Hope you are having an amazing week. Really appreciate you coming to hang out. I'm so excited to talk to Spicy Mari. She is a relationship expert and a matchmaker and has lots of interesting opinions on men and dating and finding love. So really excited to talk to her. She has her own podcast and she is also a Netflix star as well. So hope you'll stick around for that. And of course, we'll get to Never Too Personal later on in the show. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit subscribe. And here's my rant for today. I thought this was a very, very interesting topic, and it harkened me back to my high school days. And it taps into something that I have a lot of strong feelings about, which is obviously women's reproductive rights and women in general. But this came across my timeline. It's very interesting. For the first time in history, more women in their 40s are having children than teenagers. More women in their 40s are having children than teenagers. From 1990 to 2023, the teen birth rate has fallen by 73% nationally, while births among women 40 and older have surged by 193%. Now, why is that interesting to anyone? Why is that interesting to me? Well, when I was in high school, getting pregnant and being a teen mom was a very, very big deal. I remember there being several girls in my high school that were pregnant. It was a whole situation. Sometimes they would leave school and not come back. Obviously, we know the financial repercussions of having a child at that young age, the advancements in conversations around sexual education, the availability of contraceptives, the conversations that we're having with our children about sexual health. All of those things have played an incredible role in dropping this. This is a long-term play, obviously, to educate not just young women, but also young men on the consequences of having a child too young, of being a teen parent, how that affects your ability to make money, how that affects your ability to put a roof over this child's head, to feed them, to have them be educated. All of these things play a major role in your long-term financial stability, your ability to make a life for yourself, to be able to create a family. There's so many things that play a role in this. But on the other hand, the other part of the conversation is the technological advancements that are allowing women to be able to have healthy children at an older age. Because if you are over 35, I believe it's considered a geriatric pregnancy. The biggest sticking out point to me in this conversation, though, is twofold. One, the idea that at a certain age as a woman that you're washed, that you don't have a future, that you can't start a family, that you can't have all of the things that you were expected to have as a very young woman, one. And two, how important education is and how it influences so many different parts of society. I am a huge advocate of sex education. Now, I know the religies are very anti this, and in a lot of spaces, it's still illegal and they don't want it taught in schools. For some reason, they believe it's going to make people have sex, as if people haven't been having sex since the beginning of humanity, before there was sex education. But the direct results of contraceptives, of making condoms available and having sex education available to young people is positive and quantifiable. Again, the teen birth rate from 1990 to 2023 has dropped by 73%. If you are a pro-lifer and you're against this, I actually can't have a conversation with you about this. It's also giving women the opportunity to start their lives, to start their families in a healthy way, to go to school, to start their careers, to be able to build their lives, and then make the choice to start a family, get married, and build all those things later on in life. When they are more mature, when they're more financially stable, when they are more secure in who they are as a person. I love this as a story because it is positive. It is positive for women. It is positive for families. It is positive for young people. And it also is a direct result of education in a space that has actually caused positive influence. In a world where every single story is the world is ending and nothing is effective and all these liberal policies lead to the end of society, this is actually a very positive story. And I'm just going to take a moment to acknowledge that while the sky is falling.